it was my birthday show last week, and I got to hang out with Mark Norman and Doug Key and Frank. And two of that was great. Kick it to you, Frank.
Thank you, Pat. Well, happy belated birthday.
You were there.
Joining the Pat Oates show, the POS show, is his co-host, Bobby Tamburo. And our special guest is a comic. He's an animator. He's a musician. And Pat's brother's favorite guest, who also is very versatile.
I didn't say versatile. Wait,
multi-talented.
Hey. No, I did that.
You did it. Well, you said to do mine too, so I'm just following yours with mine.
But yours
I didn't edit it.
I already did it. Like you said the same shit, but dumber. I named all the versatility.
DB, all right? There's
his name's Dan Brown.
There's Dan Brown. Take it away, Pat.
Hi, everybody.
No, hello. I said do mine and then do yours. You should have done mine, Dan Brown. And then go, oh, wait, and here's the one I wanted to do, and then did yours, and we'd know the difference, and then we could fucking do a thing where whose is better. But instead, you sound like you were like you had Alzheimer's and retardation.
I was trying to flawlessly splice it together.
Flawlessly? You named three things and then said versatile. You named the versatility, and then you went and you grouped it.
I thought you were shocked. Like, I thought you heard those three things and were like, damn, he's versatile. Like, I thought you were inspired to say that.
He just came out of the announcing job.
Yeah, he didn't mean to. It just came out of his soul.
Fucking Frank's soul sucks. All right. Dan, thank you for coming on the show. And yes, that is true. I think I've told you that. I sent you the message. My brother has listened to every podcast I've ever done. My brother is one of the biggest, Bobby, I don't know if I told you this. My brother is one of the biggest Compound fans. My brother's been a fan of Cumbia since O&A were in Boston. My brother went to school Bentley in Boston, was listening to them then, was listening the morning that they got in trouble with the Boston mayor or the governor and all that stuff. Nice. My brother is from Connecticut, so he moved to Connecticut, but was working in New York the same time they moved to New York. It was listening to them then. My brother's whole life.
Awesome.
My brother's been to all the what was the tour called?
The Virus Tour.
Virus Tour. He's been to like 3 of those. Has seen Norton, Saget, all those guys when they're on the tours. He's one of the first people to subscribe. One of the only things I've accomplished in life where my brother was proud was that I got to be next to Anthony Cumia.
That's awesome.
One time, him and I, before I got to be on the show, my brother wanted to go see him and said, come to New York with me and we'll go watch a show. But that's when Cumia had to go to rehab, and so Soder filled in. And it was still cool, but we didn't get to see him. And I got to watch Eastside Dave that day, too, live.
Ooh.
And that was it. My brother was like, get ready for this. You won't even know what this is. We were doing
every
the Yes
Tuesday
Chance.
at 7:30.
And it was fantastic.
Hottest show on the network.
Oh, it was fantastic. So my brother is a huge fan of that and loves Landau and all that. That being said, 2 times ago when Dan was on my Pat Oates podcast, he texted me and said, listen, I love Landau. I love Gino. I love all these people you've had on. Dan Brown's your best guest. Dan Brown never cuts you off. Dan knows exactly what to say, when to say it. His stories are out of nowhere, but yet he has a story for every fucking thing. And my brother doesn't stop. And it's high praise for him because he doesn't like me or most things I do. So it's amazing. No, he's a big fan of all this stuff. But yeah, he loves Dan. And Bobby, he was happy to see you were a good pick to be on here. And he doesn't mind Frank.
Well, I'm glad that I'm somebody's favorite.
Oh, he would love it if this show only had the 3 of you. I think that would be the best show. I think a lot of people would. It would probably be on Compound if it was just the 3 of you. But anyway, Dan, thank you for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Frank, it was a fun birthday to spend with you. Yes, it was cool to have Mark Norman be on the early show and got to watch him. And then, the stupid thing I always do. Bobby, I'm sure you do this. You meet people at Compound and everything, but you're like, I met them a year ago, but they're not going to remember me. And then they get mad at you for thinking that way because we're humans too, asshole. I've known Mark for years, and we talked many times. I booked him on thing. I would work together, all that. We did a New Year's Eve show together, but I still always think he's not going to remember me because he's famous. But I walk out of the room, and he's standing there. And he just goes, "It's your birthday, potato, hey, patty boy." Just like he's saying, and like right away, and we were just chatting. And then he was sitting in the green room with us, and I was going on stage, and he's like, "You got to do some crazy stuff." I'm like, "I'm working out some new racist terms," and he's like, "Let me hear." So I went on stage and I said chink. I said chink in my armor about Chinese, and people kind of laughed. They got it. And then I said it's a slippery slope. And then like, no one got slope as the term. So I walked off and I said, they didn't get it. And he goes, Pat, I've traveled the country. They don't know slope. They don't know slope. So that was my birthday gift. And Doug Key's handsome, so that was nice. But it was a fun show, great crowd, all that stuff. That being said, I have a bunch of stories here to start with POS, but Bobby has a story that's fresh, hot off the presses. So Bobby is going to be the first one to give us our first story.
So as you guys know, I live in a hotel during the week. Same hotel every week. Same security guard at the hotel every week. And we do need a security guard like door guy because it is turning into like Batman's Gotham out here. There's human shit. There's just dead people. It's crazy.
Human shit's the worst kind.
But I was running a little late. I got back. I wanted to smoke. I went to the smoking section out front. And this dude came out like he was busting the biggest crime in the world. I was like, hey, you get the fuck out of here. And I was like, I stay here. And he was like, oh, what room? I told him my room. He was like, oh, my bad, dude. I've had to chase 6 people away from here. And I was like, that's cool. I feel like you could come at it a little nicer. He was like, I get it. And we had a little chat. Who's the piece of shit? Me for not like just not needing to smoke? For him for like being a little over aggressive, maybe abuse of power? Or is it de Blasio for letting the city get this bad?
It's not you, because you're like the wacky dad from the Royal Tenenbaums.
Just like him. Frank,
a little foreigner friend who stabs you every once in a while.
Yeah, just once in a while.
He lives in a hotel.
Yeah, he does. Frank?
I'm going to blame DeBazio because he's the one that got him into this mess, that he's got to live in a Holiday Inn. I mean, 7 days a week, 24/7. I think DeBazio has to be the piece of shit. I mean, he fucked up that city from the beginning, and he's still doing it.
It's the 6 people that got away. If one of them got caught, this guy would have been distracted and you would have been allowed to have your smoke. The reason why he's mad, if you've ever been the kid in school where you're not really being the punk, there's a substitute teacher, other kids are being the punk, you're not doing much, they're making fart noise with their armpit, they're throwing spitballs, all that, and then you like cough weird. But because the teacher's frustrated the first 6 kids, she just yells at you because she just had enough. The other 6 kids not getting caught, the other running away people, caused this guy to need to take it out on somebody. And he had to go out and he had to scold you because if not, he felt like he wasn't doing his job. He feels like he's a real cop in a town that needs a real cop. And he's not a real cop. He guards a door. He's not even guarding the actual people. He's guarding the door to the doors to the people. He's actually like level 1 of Donkey Kong. He's not even like the top level. He's just bottom boss. And no one likes bottom boss. Even if you're gay, that's your favorite boss. So the piece of shit is those 6 kids who got away. And what were they doing? And why is he chasing them? You're the fucking door guy. Stay at the door. You don't let him in the door. Once you chase them, who's guarding the fucking goddamn door? You know who's guarding the door? You, Bobby, having a cigarette, taking over. Once again, not getting the credit you deserve. Like when they do a show all about the Booth Boys, and you're not mentioning it in Compound, even though you're valuable. Those 6 fucking people are the fucking pieces of shit.
Yeah, I'm with you. Those 6 fucking people.
Yeah, and you got to be cool with the door guy because sometimes you might smoke weed, not cigarettes, and he's got to be chill with that.
I mean, I don't smoke cigarettes, so.
Oh, so you're just smoking weed out front? Okay, then you should have beat the shit out of you.
And when you're chasing away like public pooping riffraff all day, you're not going to be in a good mood. Like how much human waste, how much can you handle? Like, not a good job.
But Dan, if you do it every day, then is it a struggle? You know what I mean? Like the guy who cleans portalets, his first week was tough, but like year 3, he's like, this is nothing. Same old shit.
I don't know, dude.
Hey-o.
I feel like year 3 of cleaning portalets, you're still like, I'm fucking, what am I doing with my life?
Maybe some people just see piles of human waste, but he just sees dollar signs.
Because he draws them with a stick into the poop.
This is why I'm here.
Imagine that you're 3 years in and you're still working for someone else. You haven't even figured out how to be king of poop, like or run your own poop business, like you're just, or pooping sons. It's like you're waiting for your dad to die so you can take over the empire. All right.
Let me ask you one more question.
Oh,
do you
please
think
do.
if the city starts to get cleaned up, right, and the need for this door guy at the hotel goes away, does he start taking poops out front just to be like, no, see, it's still happening, dude?
Job
I don't-
security.
I don't care how clean New York gets. There will always be a need for a door guy. Because
Yeah.
what if you're going to make a wacky video where you need to walk by a thing and go, look at me, I'm in New York. You need a door guy just going, hey.
I don't really go to New York very much, but the last time I was there before the pandemic, like the most shocking sight I saw was like this little Asian guy who is homeless, I guess, furiously masturbating in the street. And I would agree. You need a doorman. You can't just let these masturbators and public poopers just have free reign over the entire city.
Well, he was the doorman at one point, that Asian guy. He was actually the doorbell. His name was Ding Dong. That was his name.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I do. Furiously?
Feverishly? Maybe one of
I
those.
think feverishly. Furiously. It's like, oh, I so mad at penis. Oh, I'm mad at you. Oh, you've been dishonorable, penis. Like, you want feverishly. Like, I'm getting the hot sweats. Like, that's what you need.
It was really hard to gauge his expression when he was like lying on the concrete all covered in filth and his own
Oh,
Yeah.
That's-
Damn, when the guy was masturbating, when you made long, hard eye contact with him, what did you read on his face?
dollar signs. His if you ordered him at a restaurant, it's number 49. Come of some young guy. That's what the name. That's the order it is there. Thank you, Bobby, for sharing. I can't believe I'm gonna do this. Frank has one.
yo,
I don't think we've ever done this. And
No.
Dan, don't worry. You don't need to have one. Normally, these two don't do this. Bobby did it once, and it was fine. But Frank never adds anything. But here's Frank's story.
okay. Thanks, Pat.
And you might want to get a
started-
notepad.
Okay.
It's going to be like a game of
I've
Clue.
edited this
Or
in my
another
mind.
beer.
I got it down to 8 minutes.
All right.
This week, Netflix dropped the trial of the Chicago 7, and that brought back a lot of memories for me, not only because I'm a child of the 60s, but because I remember Jerry Rubin really well. He was the yippie that burnt money at the Treasury Department, that threw money on the floor of the stock exchange, got arrested. He was a real anti-establishment, anti-big business. So we come full circle now, and it's in 1980. He became a investment banker. This God knows it's truth. And he was using his celebrity from being a yippie to get clients. And he was holding these big parties at Studio 54. And he was making mega money. And I was totally floored by this. I couldn't believe he was doing this. He made such a change. So me and my friend, Alan Abel, who was the master.
Real quick,
host-
Frank.
Yeah.
I know I said I wanted it to be shorter, but I think you need to explain to a lot of people that are younger what the Chicago 7 was.
Okay, the Chicago 7 was a bunch of basically the yippie movement that was anti-establishment.
What's a yippie?
What? A
Yippie.
yippie was a hippie.
And a yuppie.
Was a yuppie that was, I don't know, to the
They
10th
had
degree.
money, but they had money, but they also were about freedom.
Freedom, definitely. Well, in the 60s, everything was about freedom. I mean, you wanted your freedom,
Not
and you
the
were
blacks.
anti-war. You were anti-war and you were anti-business. That was the whole deal of the 60s.
The blacks weren't that free, though.
And they were arrested for protesting, and they went to trial in Chicago, and it became a fiasco. Nixon wanted them to prove a point, and there was protest outside. There was riots. It became a major event that captured the news cycle for
And
2
Jerry
weeks.
Rubin was a part of that.
And
Like,
Jerry Rubin with Abby Hoffman were the ringleaders of it. Okay, so I respected what they were doing because I would never do what they did, but I appreciated what they did. But when he totally made this turn into this investment banker, blew my mind. And at that time, I was right in the middle of doing many fake news stories that we would get national coverage. With Alan Abel. Alan Abel was a master of this, and he would create
Bobby
these
and
different
Dan,
things.
Frank was this prankster before, like the TV shows now with the reveal thing. Like, Frank would go with this guy, Alan Abel, and go all over the country doing these hoaxes and pranks. And before the times now where we reveal it, they never revealed it. So they would go on shows or do these things and be on media stuff and do this fucked up shit that was like fake, but no one ever knew it was fake.
Yeah,
That's
I mean,
awesome.
yeah. What we did with so here's the deal. So I said to Alan, we got to do something about this guy. We got to bring him to his knees. So we came up with this scam that we would send a cable from London and say Prince Amir Assad is spending the summer in Connecticut on his yacht, and he's bringing with him $7 million to invest. This is 40 years ago. 7 million. Chicago 7 was my take on that. And so let's see if he bites. We gave him my home telephone number. So one night I'm home, I pick up the phone and I hear, can I speak to Prince Amir Assad? I said, who's calling? Jerry Rubin. I said, he's out on his yacht right now. Would you like to leave a message? He says, yes. This is Jerry Rubin. I'd like to have lunch with him at the Pilots Club at his convenience anytime next week at the Biltmore Hotel. I said, give me a number. I'll call you back. Got his number. Called up Alan, we figured out a date to do it. We called back, we got it, we went to have lunch with them. Okay, we got a limo and we show up with myself, Alan as my PR guy, 2 bodyguards, and 2 actresses that I brought with me to distract him from looking at me totally. I'm not Arab, number one. Number 2, I was dressed as an Arab. I had all whites on, I had burnoose, had sunglasses. And so what happens is that he greets us.
Wait. Why did you choose to dress as an Arab?
Because he was this guy.
Prince Amir Assad. I was the prince.
He's pretending to be the prince. They invited Jerry Rubin to come to this yacht to he have $7 million.
Okay.
But they don't have anything. No, that's okay.
Right.
That's what Frank was
we
doing.
got nothing. We got nothing.
So we got nothing but like racism. Anyway,
yeah,
go ahead,
so
Frank.
we get out of the limo. He's there to greet us. He shakes everybody's hands. He extends his hand to me. I extend my whole hand out with a big pinky ring. And I waited for this was the cement the deal. He kissed the ring.
He kissed the ring? Nice.
He kissed the ring. That's when I knew I had him. So I could do anything with him. We go to lunch. It was a fine lunch. He brings out a $10 million deal of land in Florida. He gives it to my PR guy and an accountant that I had with me. And they said, we'll look at it later. As we're leaving and we're waiting for the limo to come, the limo pulls up. He whispers in my ear, is there anything I could do for the prince that you don't have? And I said, oh my God, I can't believe you said that. So I shot back at him, yes, I love American women with big breasts. And he says, I could take care of that for you. Ooh. He says, what are you doing tonight? I said, I'm getting on an airplane going to California. He says, all right, I could do it anytime you want. I could get you American women with big tits. I said, all right, okay.
So we leave. That's not a thing.
So we leave and we're laughing, going back to Connecticut and whatnot. So we're going to drop it. We got it. We did what we had to do. Well, he kept on calling me back, which I would not speak to him. He kept on calling the supposedly accountant back and my PR guy. He's trying, and he kept on busting out chops for weeks. Finally, we decided, all right, what does he want? So I call back as one of his aides, and he says, I'd like to have a dinner at my penthouse for the prince, and I could take care of his problem. I said, okay. We came out with a date. We show up at his penthouse, and he's got a ice sculpture of me with water coming out of it and everything. Nice. This guy went full boat.
Where was the water coming out of?
His big tits.
and what was funny, he had all these B celebrities there, all right, that wanted to meet me, kiss my ring and all that crap. So finally he grabs me and he says, come with me, Prince. And he brings me into a bedroom, and there's this hooker. There's a hooker in his bedroom. And I said, oh my God.
Frank's excitement was like a kid on Christmas right there. There was a hooker. There was a hooker.
So I mean, she was a 2-bit hooker. I mean, that upset me. I get into the characters. I got so pissed. I call in Alan. I said, I can't deal with this anymore. He got me a cheap fucking hooker. I couldn't believe that. Who does he think I am? I'm a fucking prince. I run out of there and locked myself in the bathroom.
Why was she 2-bit? What made her 2-bit?
I locked myself. I was upset.
No, but what made her? How was she busted? In what way?
How was she what?
Why was she gross? Why wasn't she worth the prince's time?
I'm guessing not emotionally.
Stupid. No, she was stupid with these phony tits. They weren't even real. I could have went like that and nothing. It would have bounced off my hands.
Well, Frank,
what?
If you came from another country back then, and you came to America and wanted American tits, I would have thought you meant fake too. America was the #1 tit export.
Yeah, but I'm a
That's what I
prince.
thought you would have meant. Yeah, and I figured you want some fake ticket back in your stupid land where you're a prince, and you're riding a carpet, whatever. You probably got floppy tits.
So what happens is I hear there's a knock on the door. I go, yeah. And he says, "This is Jerry Rubin. Can I speak to you, Prince?" I let him in, and he apologizes. "I'm so sorry. I didn't realize what I was doing. I didn't put enough thought into it. I've taken care of it. She's gone.
Oh my God, he killed her.
And I have somebody else for you." I said, "Somebody else?" "Yes. Come on out."
It was Richard Simmons.
He introduces the previous year's Miss Denmark, who was a neighbor of his. And now I'm saying, what the hell's going on here? And so she says to me, she says, "I know what it is to be a foreigner in this country. Would you like to come down to my apartment?" I said, "No, I have to go to the West Coast." And so she says, "Do you have a limo downstairs?" I said, "Yes." She says, "Want to go in the limo?" I said, "No, I have to leave now." She says, "Well, could we get together?" I said, "Yes." So we're ready to leave. And she gives my PR person her telephone number, her address, her mother's telephone number, and an agent's telephone number to get in touch with her. So she says to me, "Could I have your information, Prince?" And I said, "Yes." Snapped my fingers, and my PR came out and gave her my card. And all it said in the center was Prince Amir Assad, nothing else.
Nothing else.
And she said, "Oh my God, thank you." And she grasped it like this. And then Jerry said, "Oh, can I have one?" And we gave out the cards. Okay. And so we just left. We just left like that. He wanted to do the deal. He thought he's really cemented the deal. About a year later, a friend of mine ran into him at a tennis tournament and said, "Do you remember Prince Amir Assad?" And he goes, "Oh yeah. You know, I blew a deal with him. I'm so upset about that." And he said, "That wasn't real." He goes, "What do you mean it wasn't real?" He says, "It wasn't real."
Oh, he's the dickhead friend spoiled it?
Yeah, my friends, but that's okay because the following week he died in an automobile crash.
The friend?
No, Jerry.
Oh. I thought you were like, it's okay. The friend spoiled it.
That was pretty good. That was under 10 minutes.
Did you
That was
say
pretty
that the business cards only had his name and no other contact?
Prince Amir Assad. That's all it said. I have a photo. I have a photo that I'll send to you guys of me and Jerry having lunch, and Jerry's looking at me like this.
Okay. Let me see if I can work my magic on this one. It's a show called POS, Frank, and you didn't give us anything, but let's do this. Who's the piece of shit?
Oh my God,
Is
it's so
it
simple.
Frank, but you didn't give us any options like Bobby did, or I do every fucking week on every show you've been on. You just ended the story. So now I have to give options.
I could give the options if you want.
How many more minutes will that take?
What did you say?
How many more minutes will that take?
No. Peter, I'm the piece of shit for doing it. Alan Abel was the piece of shit for co-creating it with
you
me.
can't say who they were. You have to give us out who. Was it Alan Abel and you for doing this? Was it Jerry Rubin for not being able to know who the fuck a prince is not? Was it Miss Denmark for obviously having something happening in her life where if she didn't talk to you, they were going to kill her kid or something? There was a thing where she needed to be with you or things were going on. Was it Jerry Rubin for when you said American woman gave you Miss Denmark? That is not America. That is not even close. That is, you were better off getting some American grade B titty, like the first thing you turned down, than going for Miss Denmark. You ever watched the Miss America pageants or Miss World Universe pageants? Denmark doesn't win. Denmark doesn't come close. Denmark's the New Jersey of the world. It's not good. It's just some place. Is it your friend for fucking spoiling it? I don't care if Jerry died afterwards. That was bullshit. Or was it you for when you heard about the Chicago 7, thought selfishly about a time that you tricked a man? Bobby, who is it?
When did Chicago put out 9 to 5 or 6 to 4? Chicago 7. That's where you lost me.
68?
I'm just kidding. The piece of shit's Frank for 2 reasons. Neither one was listed. The first is, dude, fantastic story. We're 5 episodes in, man? You're sitting on this gold? That's brilliant. That's the most fascinating thing I've heard. But the real piece of shit is, why did you not bang Miss Denmark?
Yeah, or any of that. Listen,
And Pat, you're wrong. Denmark's fantastic. It's a Nordic country. Vikings.
yeah,
could've
I don't want to
banged a
fuck a Viking. That's too tough.
Yeah.
Frank can't handle Vikings.
Miss Denmark and then enforcer for this Jerry dude.
Now, Frank, and this
What?
happened in 1980.
1980, 40 years ago. Yeah.
Were you married to your wife now?
Yes.
Okay, then that's
Oh,
why he
okay.
actually likes this wife.
Okay.
The
You left
first
that out.
wife,
My
the
bad,
first
my
wife,
bad,
he would have
Frank.
fucked
I
Miss
apologize.
Denmark, no problem.
See, I don't think Frank's a piece of shit either. I feel like his story filled me with inspiration. I don't really do too well with the ladies, and I feel like maybe there's a Miss Denmark in my life if only I just became more of a liar.
So there is no piece of shit.
I don't know. I feel like maybe that prostitute with the fake boobs was a piece of shit. Having such a C quality rack.
Yeah, she was from Minnesota, by the way.
It's American.
Oh, total
so
piece of shit.
Yeah, so I asked her, where is Minnesota? And she explained to me. So I turned to my accountant. I said, buy it. And she went, oh, my God, that's wonderful.
Buy it. All right. Know what the piece of shit is? The guy who played your PR guy. Because first of all, what a weird role. Second of all, he's your PR guy, and all he did, he couldn't spend the extra two. Like Dan's right. The 2 cents it would have cost to put like ruler of the world or like coxman or something fun under your name, like just your name. And she held it to her dumb Denmark tit, like, oh, thank you. It's like, no, there's something on it that it just I could have written it on paper and given it to someone. Your PR guy sucked.
Yeah.
Thank you, both of you, for sharing. And you killed most of the time, which is nice. But we'll do this. All right. AOC. We all know who AOC is because I can't pronounce her fucking name. But I'll try it. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez streamed on Twitch playing the game Among Us. If you guys aren't familiar with that game, it's a video game that's spreading all over the world. My kids play it, and when they're not playing it, they're watching people play it on YouTube and Twitch and everything like that. It's a little game where you go online with other people, and you can't choose who you're with, but you go into different groups, and you're trying to like figure out these tasks, but at the same time, somebody in there is a traitor and is gonna like turn against all of you. It's a fun little game, but AOC and a bunch of other shithead celebrities were going on Twitch to play this game and stream it live, hoping to encourage people to vote. I don't think I need to go much farther than the story than that. The piece of shit's one of two people. And you could choose a different one, but it's either her and these other celebrities, but most importantly her, because the other celebrities were like SoundCloud rappers and shit actors and like reality show people that need, or YouTube and TikTok stars who should be on Twitch, or people that are famous for being on Twitch. Those kind of people should be on there. AOC, this made-up fake fucking politician who somebody, obviously Democrats just said, let's get something that looks somewhat fuckable in Puerto Rican, and we'll give it a backstory that it bartended once so people can tell their bartending kids one day they can be something, and then threw it out there and said, hey, why don't you go play Twitch, and maybe that'll make people vote. Is it them for thinking that this will make people vote playing video games, or is it somebody who actually wasn't gonna vote, watched Twitch, watched AOC play as the red character in a fucking game Among Us and said, you know what? I'm going to the polls. I'm voting for Biden because some Spanish lady with 3 names played a video game. Dan, you go first.
I almost feel like the people who are inspired by seeing this are the pieces of shit, because it sounds like the game is about a saboteur, like just an asshole who's just screwing up the things that other people are doing, and they were inspired to vote by that. Like they're probably going to vote for the wrong person.
There is no right person, by the way.
Yeah, that's true, but I don't know. Maybe there's somebody in like a local race that they could that would actually matter in some way that they could screw things up for. I don't know.
From now on, I want to call Puerto Ricans in my town the local race.
Oh, like
what race are
political.
they? They're from here. They're the local race. They're from Bridge, Puerto Rico.
Like a political race. Not everything is about Blacks and Jews.
Yes, it is. Everything's about Sammy Davis Jr., the Black
Have you not
Jew.
heard Matt perform?
Dan's heard me perform more than anyone else here. Dan has seen me perform. Wait, Dan's made cartoons of me performing being racist. There's a great cartoon of me doing crowd work saying piso majado instead of pijo majado, whatever you pronounce it, a million times. Holy God. Frank, who's a piece of shit?
I can't say she is because they're all like that. I mean, they will go to any media that they could get to get exposure and think they're helping themselves. I can't blame the company that has that game. I know nothing about that game. The piece of shit are the people that actually took something away from that. They have absolutely no life if that's how they're getting their information.
Like, my daughter loves that game, okay? My daughter's 18 years old. I know for a fact that even if she did watch that, it would not influence. She's already excited to vote. It's not going to be because of that. I'm happy she's not influenced by that. I think if anything, she might be a little bothered about playing the game. That's the thing they're not realizing. They're not young kids. AOC is young compared to politicians, but she's not young compared to young people. And to them, that's lame that this lady who used to be a bartender is now a politician is playing their game. They don't want them. It's the same way we all ruined Facebook for people. Like, we got on there, like, people's grandmas are like, look at my cat, and I hate Trump. Like, they ruined it for kids. It was for kids to talk, not for us. Now Frank's going to poop. But, Frank died. Bobby, who's the piece of shit?
Okay. I actually don't think AOC is the piece of shit in the story.
Right.
I disagree with pretty much everything she stands for, but I respect her because she's somebody who talks about it and then did something to back it up. So, like, right, wrong, or indifferent. And I think she's playing the party's role, right? The Democrats are all about let's go out and vote. She's actually just being a team member. So, right, wrong, or indifferent, I respect her for, like, doing her thing and jumping on with the team. The people who are the piece of shit in this story is anybody who thinks their vote matters. Your vote doesn't mean shit. Let me say that again. I'm going to pull a billboard. Your vote doesn't mean shit.
Yours does, Bobby, because you live in Pennsylvania.
No, it doesn't. There's 54 counties that they think this is going to determine. There's 3,500 in the country.
Right, but aren't you living in one of those counties?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
Ours
okay,
is red.
right.
My vote's a drop in the ocean. And it's the same thing. Like, if you live in California and you're a Republican, good luck thinking your vote counts. You're a speed bump on the Democratic highway. Like, don't vote. They gave us 2 shitty options. Like, if you vote, all you're doing is going, yeah, that's cool. Like, the Republicans put up this idiot and the Democrats cheated to put up this idiot. Like, don't endorse that system. Don't vote. Just go do something fun with your day. Don't waste your time. Like, if everybody's telling you to do something, don't do it. It's cool not to do what everybody else is doing.
That is always
That's
the
how you're
coolest,
cool.
right? Yeah.
Don't do what they're doing. And, like, then they're like, it's not democratic if you don't vote. You have to vote for democracy. And it's like, you telling me to vote seems pretty undemocratic.
Right. Well,
Like,
no.
I thought it was my choice.
Yeah, it's democratic to have the option to vote. That's
Right.
democracy.
Exactly.
It would be
and, like,
awesome if everyone got on board and no one voted.
yeah.
No
And,
one.
like, they're like, do it for the soldiers. Right? The soldiers died. You got to vote.
I don't
And,
like soldiers.
if my grandfathers had died in the war and you woke them up and were like, these are our choices, they'd be like, I probably should have just stayed home and banged chicks.
It's like, oh, Sniffy and the Orange Man? Fuck them. I don't want them.
Yeah, it's like, what the fuck?
I need someone good, like someone who stops blacks from going to school. Like, oh, wait, no, Grandpa. You're also terrible. Listen, no one should be the president. We should stop it. We don't need presidents anymore. We don't.
Stupid.
We just need mayors. We just need everyone to govern their own shit, like what's it called? Walking Dead. You just need your own little kingdom and your own little town. You get your supplies and you hang out there. And then it'd be easier to get laid because you're just seeing 8 women, not all the women on the internet. You only get to know 8 women, and then you have to fuck them because that's the rules. They should go back to that. Where we've lost it by talking to the whole world. If everyone got together and no one voted, and the only people that voted were Biden and Trump, and they both voted for themselves, it was a 1-1 tie, that'd be the best. I would love that. We would just give up. And then Kanye shows up and him and Kim vote for him, and then he's the president of the United States.
I want to watch a detective show called Sniffy and the Orange Man.
Yes, I want that show. Jake and the Fat Man right after it. It's great. I was joking around with somebody yesterday saying I think the best detective show would be a detective who's just like from Utah and he's a Mormon and he's just like appalled by things that happen but doesn't really do anything. So like he shows up and just if they catch this serial killer and he's taken 15 lives, he skinned them alive and all that, and he just goes, "What? Why? Why would you? Those are good people. Like, what do you can't do anything with skin. There's no value on the market. Why would you do? I'm ashamed. And then he just walks away, and that's the end of the show. Like every week, he just shakes his finger at them. He goes, "That wasn't nice."
Trump's like,
He's
there
gonna-
are good people and bad people on both sides of the line. He killed some good people, but he killed
Yeah.
some bad people too.
You got to kill them both.
He's got to like keep the horrific scenes that he's seen and not give any indication to his 11 wives that he's seeing all these horrors.
Yeah, he's just no, but there's one wife that he tells all the awful shit to, and then she obviously kills herself because that's what they do. Anyway, the next great story. We all know the wonderful Halloween special. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. Well, guess what? It won't be on ABC this year. It's moving to Apple TV. The popular Halloween special, which premiered on CBS in 1966, will not be on air for the first time since that year. It's always been on the air every single year. You can watch it, but it's on Apple TV.
I thought it was getting canceled for a second.
Here's my thing, and that's gonna be part of this. Who's the piece of shit? It's the piece of shit ABC for not just putting this out. You put out every other piece of garbage. You're putting out The Bachelor every fucking 2 weeks. This is a thing that's been happening forever. People love nostalgia, just especially in a year where kids aren't going to be able to go on the full trick-or-treating. Give them this thing at least so parents, if they have an excuse, can say, hey, let's sit and watch this thing that my parents made me watch and then someone convinced me it was funny because it was never funny because it's not funny. The Peanuts is the worst cartoon ever. This never made me laugh once, and Charles Schultz is bullshit. Anyway, I don't think the parents would be that rude. But anyway, come sit with me and watch this thing. Is the piece of shit them? Is the piece of shit ABC for not airing it? Is the piece of shit anyone who thinks that Charlie Brown is a good show? Charlie Brown should have been canceled first before any other cartoon. Charlie Brown has people that he points out are white trash, Pigpen, lesbians. He just points them all out. Here's a lesbian, Beckman Patty. Here's this. Here's the black Franklin. A friend of mine when I was in college would call black people Franklins because of the one guy named Franklin. Charlie go, a bunch of Franklins came in here because Franklin was the one black man who basically was at the party just to dance when Linus played fucking. By the way, not Linus. Who was the piano guy? Schroeder. Schroeder was gay. That's why I didn't like the bitches. Or is the piece of shit anyone who cares about this time? Like, it's even cartoon. Who cares when it's on? Who's still waiting for things to come on TV? I'm sure you could just find it on fucking YouTube. You could probably find it and just search Great Pumpkin Charlie and find it. That little boy with 3 strands of hair, he obviously is dying of leukemia. Take care of Charlie Brown. He doesn't need to be out there every week. He's got a disease. Where's his hair? Frank, who's the piece of shit? I'm old.
I would have to go with ABC because there was a tradition there. Now, I've never seen Charlie Brown, never saw the show that you're talking about. All I know
You're
got
older
3
than Charlie Brown.
Right. So all I know is that 3 generations have brought their children to see this show that they experienced in their youth.
But you've never
And
seen
so
it.
ABC copped out, took the money from Apple, and screwed all these people.
You read
That's my
Charlie
take.
Brown in the comic book strips, though, right? The comic strips.
No.
You don't know anything about Charlie Brown.
No.
Can you name 3 people? What's the dog's name?
No, don't know.
Snoopy.
What?
Who?
Snoopy?
Oh, that means something.
You lived in New York. He was the fucking giant Snoopy. He's like coming down Thanksgiving Day parade.
I
Big old
never
Snoopy.
went to a Macy's Day Parade.
What the
I
fuck?
never watched it on television.
Too busy hoaxing folks to buy you hookers, you fucking creep. All right.
I'll
Bobby.
name 3 hookers for you.
All right, go ahead. Snoopy, Woodstock, and Peppermint Patty. That's my
You know
hookers.
Woodstock?
Woodstock was that name of the little bird. Did you freeze or you just died? What happened? All right, Bobby, piece of shit.
Piece of shit's you, Pat, and you, Frank, and maybe you, Dan. I don't know if you watched it or not, but all these fuckers who didn't watch it the last couple of years, ratings will get you on TV. I watched it last year.
So
and
did I,
the year
Bobby.
Before,
So did I,
and the
Bobby.
year before that. All
I
right, sorry,
watched it
Pat. I
last year, you
apologize for
fucker.
preemptively. I
I
take you off
did.
the list.
Because I wanted to watch it to go, did I remember it being good? It can't be good. And I'm like, this isn't good.
It's 100% a nostalgia thing. It's not. And I think they were all there because at the time it was like woke that they were all there and having a good time together. You know what I mean? I think that was the message. It wasn't just being like, there's a lesbian. It was like, look, you can hang out with a
They
lesbian.
pointed
Try to
about
date her.
hard. No, they
Stop.
pointed about hard.
But like it's these woke parents who were like, let's see what Paw Patrol special there is on Netflix.
Uh-oh.
Like, just put on.
I mean, you don't understand. Paw Patrol got canceled.
I mean,
The dog on it did. The cop dog. For real. They canceled. There was a cop dog, and they canceled when the whole thing happened with the police and George Floyd. They canceled the cop dog on Paw Patrol. Now there's only a fireman, like, and a construction worker. He got fired. The puppy cop.
and the Indian, right? There's the Indian dog as
No,
well.
Indians are okay as long as they're like, oh no, rough. So piece of shits are us. Thanks, Bobby.
Not you,
Thanks.
just people who didn't watch it. Clearly you did, and I apologize. I take you off
watched
that
it.
list. Dan, I threw it up in the air. I don't know if you did. You seem like you are a fan, so I'm assuming you did. That's why I didn't put you on the list. Frank, you're always
That's
a
why
piece of
Dan's
shit.
going last, because Dan's an animator. Maybe him and Charles Schultz are friends.
I mean, as like kind of a loser with a big fat circular head, whose last name is Brown, I cannot vote against Charlie Brown. So I'm just voting for everybody else. Me and Charlie Brown, we're friends till the end.
But we can all admit that it was a shit show, right? Did you ever really laugh at Peanuts?
I haven't seen that show in years.
Or read the comic strip? It's never funny.
The Christmas one will still make me cry, dude.
Yeah, I
think
like
it's
the
supposed to be
music. Like
humorous.
the Christmas one has some of the it's probably one of the best Christmas albums that I've ever heard.
It's all bullshit.
Absolutely.
The only thing I like is like, it's the only thing I like.
See,
The old theme
you
song.
know it though. It's still there.
Yeah, because when I grew up, there was like 5 cartoons. It was bullshit. That's why it was famous. Because if there was an array of cartoons when Charles Schultz started, he'd be canceled in a week.
Maybe some things are just good because of the nostalgia. Maybe
Yeah.
they're, I don't know. I still like it. I mean,
Go watch Fat Albert, and I know that we can't now because Cosby, but Fat Albert wasn't good. But it was just black peanuts.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I think everything was black peanuts. That's all it is. So yeah, I don't know.
The blacker the peanut, the
I was-
sweeter the juice.
Was that the old saying?
I don't know.
My kids never liked it. I remember when they were little, I tried to get them to watch it. Like, can we watch better things? Like, once like SpongeBob happened and shit like that, you're like, no one's gonna watch Charlie Brown ever again. It was just weird. It was just a weird thing. And speaking of kids, weird things, guess what's making a comeback? Live action Barney, baby. It's
What?
coming. Live action. Mattel Films and Get Out star Daniel Kaluuya to produce a live action movie based on the lovable children's character Barney. Entertainment Weekly reports. They're bringing it back. They want to bring him back. They want to make it live action. And I like the fact that it's got the dude from Get Out, but it better be really funny. Like,
Is action a good word to describe what Barney does?
Barney taught us, I love you, you love me, won't you say you love me too? That's one of the first songs I remember. And what happens when that isn't true? That's why Daniel wants to make this thing, because he wants to know the answers to it. So if he's gonna go into like some weird like meta thing where it's like they find out what Barney really meant and it become like comedic and make fun of it, I'm on board. But if it's just supposed to be a live action like kids thing, but he's known for doing weird shit, maybe it'll be like murderous Barney. I don't know. I'm kind of excited for it because it sounds like something different, but at the same time, nostalgia-wise, I think that people will want to show their kids this one thing, and it won't end up being that thing, and then people will get mad at it if they mock it.
Is Barney the dinosaur?
Yes, he was a purple dinosaur. He was on
Right.
PBS, and he would sing, "I love you, you love me, something fuck your family," or whatever the fuck it was, and a great big hug, and whatever bullshit. It was a thing, but he wasn't even teaching things well. They would just dance around and do whatever. White kids danced poorly. There's been some great memes out of it in the world from like some bad dancing by white kids. But it was just like any other of those kids shows where a thing dressed up and just taught you about love and respect and being good and stuff. Like it was good for kids. It was just a little. Obviously, adults made fun of it later, but it wasn't made for adults. It was literally made for tiny little kids to be entertained on. They kept trying to replace Mr. Rogers forever. Barney was probably the closest thing they ever had to completely replacing him. Like, it was on for a long time, and children fucking loved it. So
It was big.
is it the pieces of shit, the people that are mad that they're bringing it back because they're like, don't bring it back. Keep the memories. Enough with the nostalgia. We don't have to bring everything fucking back. Can't we come up with new ideas? It's a piece of shit people who can't come up with new ideas. And we're like, no, let's bring Barney back because I think we've thought of everything and we can't do it. Or is it the guy from Get Out? You were in Get Out. You were tremendous in Get Out. And now you're going to be in the Barney live action movie? You couldn't do better in a time where black people are just being handed roles? You can't do better than Barney's side piece? What the fuck? As a black man, I am offended. Dan, who's the piece of shit?
I don't know, because I mean, like Kermit the Frog was on an educational little kid TV show, but then when he went into the movies, he was in Muppets Take Manhattan, where he had this complicated drama, like amnesia storyline, where he was fraternizing with these rats who worked as short-ordered cooks in the Hell's Kitchen. Like, I'm thinking this movie could go places. Like, who knows? Maybe.
Back then, you were allowed to be like crazy like that. I don't think they'd allow Barney to go off to New York and fucking have hijinks and fuck a pig.
I don't know.
Speaking of fucking pigs, Frank's back. Where'd you go? Why did you keep leaving during the show? I said black people, and Frank left. Even his house behind him is white. So who do you think the piece of shit is?
I feel like I want to give this movie a chance, so.
But someone's still got to be a piece of shit. That's the rules.
I think.
No, Frank. Bad
So-
Frank.
I mean, I never
Frank,
understood a lot of these.
Frank got muted again. Dan, it's your turn. It wasn't
All
your
right,
turn, Frank. It's not
So
your turn.
it's the choices are the people who made the movie,
Or anyone you want to choose.
or the okay. I guess I'm gonna go with I don't know, the Get Out guy.
Yeah, fuck you, Get Out guy. You better get out of here. Bobby, go ahead. Frank, you've been
I
warned.
may need an assist here, Pat. Do you still have the article up?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go with the piece of shit being the dude from Get Out partnered. It's his company, so he's sponsoring 59% of it.
Well, no, it's
The
Mattel
other-
Films.
The other is Mattel, who's doing it just to make toys. So I think in the article it said he's gonna go grittier. He's
Yeah, it
gonna
does
go
say
dark.
that it will be darker than the OG TV show. But that's all
Yeah,
it says.
it's gonna look like. I think at one point it said it's gonna be what happens if an actual dinosaur was hanging out with a bunch of kids.
I
So
hope
I'm
this
like,
is the.
I'm game to give it a chance. I think it's gonna get weird. The piece of shit's Mattel because they're doing it to make toys.
I hope
those
this is the
Barney
Chris
toys-
Nolan version of Barney.
Yeah. Those toys are terrible. We had one, it would just in the middle of the night open its mouth and just go like the grudge noise. We all thought it was possessed. We moved. My whole family just moved. Buried the toy in the backyard and left.
I hope it's the Eli Roth version.
Oh,
He's just a murderer. He's just. Well, what did they just mean darker? Because this Daniel guy is like he's very black. He's like Wesley Snipes black. He's like he's almost as purple as Barney. Like he's a very black man. And it's like, oh, maybe they just mean he's gonna be darker. Maybe Barney will be black. What if Barney's just black? And then he talks about how they made him in his show be purple because people couldn't handle a black dinosaur, so they drew him purple. And he's just mad about that shit.
That'd be
And he goes-
that would be a good show.
He goes to
That'd be
speakeasies
hilarious.
and he tells woke comedy and he snaps his dumb fingers and everybody just says he's like, yeah. Why? What happened when the black guy walked into the bar? The white people wouldn't serve him. That's the joke.
No.
Motherfucker!
I
I
love
like
your
it when he's a
mom.
Bob
Your mom
Saget.
loves this dick.
Barney's just a real like actual black room comedian, and they have to make him be this classy guy, like he's a Bob Saget. He goes out there, he's fucking a stool. Oh, okay, hit that one more time. He's just a terrible comedian. But
Dinosaurs be shopping, and he's walking around and yelling. It's like,
it's about how that circuit turned his back on him because he sold out to be this Barney.
he was originally on the Kings of Comedy, but then Steve Harvey replaced him at the last second, and then Barney was supposed to get the family. The whole thing's Barney being mad at Steve Harvey's career, and he's just upset. And then him and Steve Harvey get in a fight at the end. I can see Steve Harvey taking that fucking role. By the way, if you ever want to just laugh your ass off, and I mean this, and you want just something silly, go to YouTube and put in Steve Harvey Family Feud. No matter what clip you get, it's the greatest role anyone's ever played. Steve Harvey is one of the funniest human beings in the world, and watching him get mad at other black people for having the wrong answers on Family Feud. There was one where the 5 answers on the board, and it was like, what follows the word pork? And 2 of the answers were shoulder and loin. And this one guy goes, cupine.
Huh?
Yep. And Steve goes, did you say cupine? Cupine. What were, let me ask you, sir, cupine. And then for 10 minutes, he goes up. He's supposed to say porcupine, but he's just going, Frank just got it. And he's like, You sure? Okay, you sure? He's like, yeah, it's up there. It's up there. He goes, I'm pretty sure it's not up there, but I do know you're going to be on YouTube. And like, it does it for like 10 minutes. It's like the greatest. He's just tremendous. He just shits on them and dances around and just makes them feel awful. And it's the best. Frank, who's the piece of shit in this?
I first of all, it's really easy once you guys gave your take on the new Barney the way it should be, and I think whoever greenlit the show, I mean, it's going to be a piece of shit whatever they greenlit. I mean,
I don't know. The one thing is, like, the fact that people liked Karate Kid the way it came out later and they jumped to it, I think people don't mind nostalgia if it has a new twist on it. Like, I know Dan was kidding, but the Christopher Nolan twist on Batman is what changed Batman. So I think if it's darker and it's not for kids, that's what our nostalgia is doing. Our nostalgia is selfish. When I was a kid, Smurfs were for kids. When I became an adult, they tried to make Smurfs to the humor to make adults laugh with their kids. Every show that comes back, the Transformers had to be, scarier and darker and real. They couldn't just be a cartoon for kids. But when I was a kid, they were for kids. We got adults like, no, we still want it for us to show our kids. We want it to be cool for us. And that's not what nostalgia is supposed to be. As much as I hate the Charlie Brown thing, at least it stays the same. Charlie's not like smoking weed and fucking doing heroin with people and stuff. He's just still sucking just a shitty kid whose parents never talked to him. And that's the American dream. So I don't know. I'll watch the movie. I guarantee you I'll watch the movie. I won't go to the theater, but or whatever it's going to come out, I'll watch it. And I'll buy an action figure. I'll buy a Barney with a big black dick. BBBC, big black Barney cock. I'll buy that one. All right, we'll do one more, and then we'll get the fuck out of here. What do I want to choose? Oh, okay, here we go here. This is a good one. Boom. And this is taking forever. Yay. Oh, the Hummer is back as a 350-mile range electric super truck that can drive diagonally. Yes. They brought the Hummer back. I guess the Hummer was gone for a while. The Hummer, the symbol of pre-2008 recession, gas-guzzling excess, has been resurrected as a 350-mile range electric super truck with 3 electric motors, 1,000-horsepower adjustable air suspension, and a diagonal driving feature called Crab Mode. The electric truck is set to go on the production line in late 2001, possibly ahead of Tesla's Cybertruck. I can't care less about anything in the world. But I do like that finally my kids will understand that it's funny when you can say, look, a Hummer. I'm happy that's back. Because in 2008, even though I was older, it was funny all of a sudden when you could say, did you get a Hummer? It's like, yeah, I did. It's huge. But are people really – why do we need our cars to do more than what cars do? Is the piece of shit somebody who's like, it's one of the greatest inventions. It's the same thing with the phone every year. I get the phone has to get better and better, but it's one of the greatest inventions of all time. My son recently got in trouble at school because the teacher told him to put the phone away, and he didn't put the phone away. He kept staring at it. He said, okay, then he hid in his lap, and he was looking at Instagram or whatever. They took it away again. And I was supposed to talk to him on the phone and scold him about it, but I was like, I don't know. It's kind of tough. You get to either stare at the greatest invention of all fucking times or listen to your teacher. If I had a phone, I would have stared at my phone, so I really can't get mad at you. So I get the idea that you want your car to do crab walks and Tesla gets it to dance and sing, but what the fuck do we need all that for? Can't we just calm down as a people? Can't we just appreciate the fucking things that we have? Why does everything have to be so great? Why does sex have to be in the butt? Why can't you just have regular sex? Why do you have to be so change it up and excited? Why do people need fake tits, right, Frank? Why can't regular tits just be a thing? Why do we need excess shit? Is it people who do stuff like that, or is it me mad because no matter what happens, I still won't ever be able to drive? Dan Brown.
I feel like the piece of the shit is whoever called diagonal movement crab movement. Like, what? Crabs don't move diagonally. You're thinking of bishops. Crabs move sideways and sometimes in an L pattern.
Yeah, those guys who are not popes yet, they move all weird. Stupid bishops.
Yeah.
You're right. Crabs is weird. You shouldn't say, listen, by the way, it's funny that a Hummer can go crab style, because if you get a Hummer and you get crabs, you've had a bad day.
Yeah.
Thought you had a good day. Yeah, don't name it after a venereal disease. Speaking of having crabs, Frank, what do you think?
First of all, I know something about this. First, the car starts at north of $100,000. Number one.
Right. Of course.
So 98% of your market is gone. So you're looking at 2% of the market. It's
Well,
totally.
same with Teslas. I mean, they're not cheap.
Well, no, you can get a Tesla for $40,000. That's
Not
a
that
lot
one that
less
can
than
dance.
100,000. So I think that they're putting so much emphasis on this for the 2%. I think they're a piece of shit to bring it back because I saw it move and it looked awful. I mean, it really did. It looked kind of creepy.
Yeah, it's a car walking. It's supposed to be
Yeah,
creepy.
sideways. He looked drunk.
It shouldn't. Yeah, that's the thing. You can't be drunk with your car. How do you tell if someone's drunk if they're doing it in crab mode?
When they fall into the lake.
When they're tipped over going, "Rah, rah, rah, rah." Bobby, piece of shit.
Piece of shit's them for bringing it back electric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody who drives a Hummer wants an electric truck. It's like, oh, look at this thing. Yeah, is it a Hemi? No, it's a electric. It's 120 volts. Like nobody wants that shit.
Yeah, it's like the guy that used to drive it won't drive it now, and the guy who would have driven it if it was better for the economy now. So like nerds again ruined something good.
Yeah,
That was supposed to be for tough assholes.
guys who wanted to be tough.
That's
assholes.
right.
Yeah, now they can't. And now you got to not only do you look like a douchebag jumping out of a giant fucking tank, but now you got to find a place to plug it in.
That's right.
It's even
You gotta charge
douchier.
it.
Nobody wants to
Yeah.
hear. Look how silent that truck runs.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing's the hum, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
And now it's not going to really hum.
No.
My
Probably
assault
has hum
vehicle is
mode.
quiet as a mouse.
It's like, yeah, I don't want that. I don't want a sneaky crab. Just crab walk. And how many assholes are going to do it? Can you do it while you're driving? Can you do diagonal mode?
I hope not. I mean, that's stupid.
Like,
I
you
mean,
just
I
also
I don't know
twice.
I don't know where you would use it. I mean,
I want to get off at this exit at the last second.
Oh, I've seen assholes do that. That's the worst. Yeah, I don't even understand why you'd want that. Like, I get driving diagonal. That'd be sweet if you could just turn all four tires and fucking fly. I mean, that's not good, but it would be pretty cool if you could just fucking just go fucking flying out and scare the shit out of your friends or something.
Is it for parallel parking?
No, because it's just saying crab. It's just a style, just the same way because the Tesla has it too, where you basically can make it dance around and stuff. Because I'm sure it's also going to have like the parallel park move. And also, if you're trying to parallel park a fucking Hummer,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Like, you already can't, and you're just gonna run shit over. It's like if you need that extra bell and whistle, are car sales that bad? I don't know, but like I know the economy is not that great right now, and I'm sure people aren't buying super expensive cars. Do you have to make it so insane that people like fuck? It's worth it. It's got robot moves. Like, is that what it is now?
Maybe.
Robot
Like, you
moves
would know.
pretty
You're
good.
the only one out of the four of us that can afford a car.
When I looked at it, when you look at the car and it's just moving normally, it looks great. But then all of a sudden it makes this crab move to the side. You go, what the hell is going on here at 7 miles an hour? I mean, you're not going 60 miles an hour making that move.
You know what it's like? It's like a pretty girl.
It has no application.
Yeah, it's a pretty girl that when she's sitting, you're like, she looks real nice. Then she gets up and she's got one bum leg, and you're like, oh no, bum leg. And she's all moving around weird. And you're like, ah. But then it's harder to date her because you gotta like not bring up the bum leg. So, and she has crab style. So I don't know. I think it's dumb that they would bring it. If it's not the Hummer, and the Hummer part was about the gas guzzling tough guy bullshit, change the name.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the Hummer. Don't call it the Hummer if it's the
The
Hummer.
HJ.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. You know what it is? It really is the HJ. It's not a blowjob anymore. It's a hand job at best. It's what it is. It's all it is. A hand job it should be called HJ from your sister. That's what it should be called, because that's basically what it is. Like, it's a hand job, but it's your sister, and it's not a good time. And she's plugged in. Bobby, tell them all things about you.
Follow me at Bobby_Tamburo on Twitter. Check me out at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone this weekend for Dave Landau.
Nice.
And that's about it.
And watch you on Eastside
Oh,
Dave.
thank you. The Eastside Dave Show every Tuesday at 7:30. Thanks for getting me out of trouble, Pat.
No problem. I'm telling you, that's the show. I haven't been watching much Compound lately because there's been lots of drama and stupidness I just don't care about. But where's one place you can go to where the drama's not there? Eastside Dave.
It's crazy. It's chaos, but it's definitely drama.
It has, and it doesn't even make sense on the network, and that's why I like that it's on the network.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Dan, where can people follow you? All that fun. Where can they check out your animation? All that stuff.
On YouTube, I am Ghosty Films, and on Instagram and Twitter, I am at Ghosty Films.
Bobby, if you haven't seen it yet, Dan's been doing this fun thing during COVID. He had a quarantine comedy club where he
Right,
takes two
that's
comics and he
funny.
draws this cool animation, and then like I put one thing in, and he takes like 3 or 4 minutes of our acts and animates it like it's in a comedy club, but no one's in the comedy club because it's all quarantined.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
fun.
I'll check it out.
It's
I'll
very
check it
funny.
out.
There's a couple of comics you would know on there. It's really good. He does a fantastic job.
Very cool.
Frank.
Well, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Frank Behavior. I'm on Facebook, Frank Regallo. Next Thursday, the 29th of October, I'll be with Pat at the Thirsty Thursday show at Comics and Mohegan Sun.
And as always, Bobby has an open invitation, but someday he'll make it, but he will be there and perform on the show. Follow me on Twitter at Pat_Oates. Please follow the Pat Oates YouTube channel. Subscribe to that as well as my other podcast, Podophiles, on there. If you're listening to this at all, on anything you're listening to any platform, please rate, review, subscribe, all those fun things. People have been listening to this, which I thought was weird. I thought this would just be like an audio thing, but like, why would it be? We're not animated or fun. But not only are we getting views, but we're weirdly enough getting a lot of listens. So anyone that's been jumping in and listening to this, thank you. They all enjoy it. Dan, thank you so much for being on. Bobby, thank you for offering a wonderful story. Frank, thanks for killing about 20 minutes. I appreciate it. And everybody out there, don't be a POS.